T and I, we do a podcast called Breaking Boston.
No, I've heard about that.
So
yes.
we talk about the Sox occasionally in the ups and mostly downs of the offseason. You can sell me on, we're a better team than you think we are in May. Mm-hmm. But you can't in April.
Nope.
Because April, I'm going in with my own preconceived notions. Once you go, 12-4 to start the year, then you might have me, maybe I need to give this team a second. But to open the year, it's my preconceived notions of who you are. And what you are is a last-place team who cheaped out on the offseason and watched the Yankees and the Dodgers do big boy business while you spent $1 million. I was joking to Billy off air. The Dodgers and the Red Sox are Austin Powers, the dated version and then the updated version. We're going to spend $1 million. And everybody's like, that's not a lot of money. And then the Dodgers are like, $1 billion. And John Henry's like, what are you, out your effing mind?
That's
$1 billion?
Right. I said to you that, John Henry has been around big league baseball since the mid-'90s. Yeah. Let's remember the guy did own the Marlins at one point in time. And now, I just wonder if that analytical brain of John Henry, which has always made him money, if he's just looking at it and going, man, yeah. How about this from Rob Bradford?
$1 million.
Very
That's
nice.
John Henry there. Did you hear him?
Rob Bradford has a column up on WEEI.com. There's
Bradfo.
a couple of pulls from this, okay? Bradfo writes, and I do think some of this is kind of bullcrap, but okay.
That's a nice way to set up something
it
you're about
is,
to
but
read.
because when I hear
Listen
it,
to this bull crap we got on the website.
You know what? Because when I hear it, you're going to go, oh, you know what? You're right. The first thing to understand is that there should be no room for interpretation when it comes to how much the Red Sox wanted Yamamoto. For the last couple of years, the pitcher has been the apple of the organization's eye, and that hadn't changed even with any front office turnover. But thanks to the Dodgers allocating $375 million to the 25-year-old, that dream has died. Then you really didn't want him that bad, did you? That's the thing. You can't write the sentence of no room for interpretation of how badly they wanted him until the offer started to come in.
Right. And
That's why I say that.
And it is bullcrap because don't just blame the Dodgers. It'd be one thing if the Dodgers were stupid high. The way that I've read it, they matched what the Mets were going to pay him.
That's exactly right.
He used the Mets to get an offer to get the Dodgers to match it. So it's not one outlier offer. It was at least two teams that were willing to go $325. Sounds like at least three teams when you include the Yankees willing to go north of $300 million. So three offers means that's the market. That's the cost of doing business if there's three of them. Because there's only so many teams that are in this world, right?
Absolutely.
Right out the gate, there's
Right.
5 to 8 teams that could even consider this type of a maneuver, and 3 of them were in the same ballpark, and you were not.
You were in America's most beloved ballpark by yourself.
And Philadelphia might have been the fourth team
Right.
in line, and they had been spending like crazy because old Dombo's down
So
there.
let's not blame the Dodgers for this is not the Browns with Deshaun Watson, where some team did something crazy stupid, and every other owner is like, now you screwed us all. No. The Dodgers did business.
This is like the playground thing that I bust your balls about. You were willing to spend some money on the playground.
Not $1 million.
Bingo. And that's you were of the...
Hadn't even thought of that. My town spent
Yeah.
the same money on a damn playground as the Red Sox have spent in the entirety of the offseason.
Now, that is absurd from the Red
What the
Sox
hell is
end.
going on around here?
But you were of the, sure, we can do it. I would like a playground in town, okay?
Get a little paint, get a little new fake mulch, whatever.
Right. And then they're like, it's $1 million, and that's when you pushed away from the table.
Excuse me, did you say $1 million?
That was the Red Sox. It was, we're at $300 million. Well, let's just push away.
Right, he's a priority. No, he's not a priority.
He isn't.
If he's not a priority, if he's a priority, you'd be in line with the market value offers, and the market value offers were north of $300 million, including at least 2, the way we're reading it, that were $325 million. So you didn't really want him. It's like me. There's lots of stuff I want until I find out how much it costs.
That's right.
I want to go to Aruba. I want to go to this. I want to go to that. And then I go, that's a little pricey. What else you got? Puerto Rico's a little cheaper. Let's go to Puerto Rico this summer.
Puerto Rico is very nice.
Bora Bora. Would love to go there. You know how much that costs? That is not a priority for me.
You can't take a regular flight to Bora Bora, though, can you? You got to get on one of those
Big plane, little plane,
propeller
boat,
planes.
like
I
it's
can't do that.
It's
Yeah.
trains, planes, and automobiles.
Yeah, you're built for that.
I'm not sure I am. I need to get
hold
knocked
on.
out.
Patience-wise,
Yeah.
you are not.
No.
Size-wise, you're okay.
Oh, it's a size joke. It's
No,
always a size joke around here.
Because
Same
here's the thing.
thing.
If you got on a propeller plane, they would be like, oh, okay, that's good. They'd be like, or me, it'd be like, sir, you got to take 2 seats. Because those things are small. That's all.
They'd ask you how much you weigh. You'd give them a
Right.
number, and they'd say, really?
Yeah, right. Do they have a scale there? Is it?
Really?
Yeah, like, are they really way? Yeah.
We're not
So
going
we're
down
gonna
because
sit on the other side of the plane.
Oh, listen, I would always overestimate. I don't want to go down in.
Oh, you don't want to be the reason.
No,
Who was that,
no.
Was it Aaliyah? They lied about like the luggage weight or something, and the whole damn plane went down.
I
Killed
think
everybody.
so. Yeah. Well, there might have been some R. Kelly whatnot in there, but that's another
probably
story
true.
for another time. I want to read something for folks from Bradfo that is sobering to think about, because as much as we were like, yeah, okay, Rob dressed it up earlier, this he nails. And this is a real gut punch. If you're like Garrett Richards' jacket and those in the Twitch chat, good morning to the Twitchers, twitch.tv/Boston WEEI. Follow WEEI on Twitch. You can also watch us on YouTube. Just type in WEEI, click the link. Rob writes, unless an out-of-nowhere trade is made, the Red Sox lot in life is pretty much cemented heading into 2023. Without game-changing big names such as Yamamoto joining the mix, the team will be needing to push aside apathy with early season wins and breakout performances. That can happen, but living that life where there is no hot stove sugar rush is always a bit uncomfortable. Yep.
Let's go Red Sox! Let's go Red Sox! Go Red Sox!
Yeah. I mean, that is just so choice, is it not? That,
But
that
he's
whole
dead
thing.
on. They may hook me come Memorial Day, but from April to Memorial Day, I have no reason to watch the Boston Red Sox. It's just the reality of the team right now. And quite honestly, I have a reason to avoid them. And the reason to avoid them or watch something else or invest my time and energy elsewhere is called the Boston Celtics and the Boston Bruins. Two teams that are among the best in their sports, that are competing for championships, right? Like early in the baseball season, we'll be starting to have rubber meets the road time for Bruins and Celtics. And both are competitive. Like certainly the Celtics. I mean, the Celtics are putting the Red Sox and Patriots to shame because it's not just the winning, the last place. It's, oh, we have 2 star pillars and we're going to go get another star. And then, oh my, another big name player became available. We're going to go get him too.
Brad Stevens has been great.
Just total up. It's like a fan that won the lottery and is now running a sports team. I gave my young player a boatload of money. I went out, and I've always kind of liked this one star who's a depreciated value. I'll go get him. And then, it's like a fan is running. It's fantasy sports.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of fans would spend, where Stevens has really beat other general managers in the NBA is what he has given up to get people. I mean, when you think about it was really Aaron Nesmith is how you got Malcolm Brogdon, and then what Brogdon led to in trade and all that. And the way Brad Stevens has gone about it, because it's funny that you mentioned that, because you're right. Like for fans, it's write the check. But the guys like Brad Stevens are the ones that are the real maestros because they know they can write the check. A lot of GMs can. And in that sport, even it's kind of capped. How do you get away with pulling off trades? Like remember the trade for KG? Everybody said at the time, well, it's Danny's buddy out there. McHale hooked him up. There's none of that going on with Brad Stevens. Now Brad Stevens has become Danny Ainge, where he's winning trades, but he's convincing you're also winning as well. Danny Ainge just wanted to pants people and leave them butt naked standing in town square with people laughing at him. Whereas it feels like Brad Stevens is almost hoodwinking the other side into thinking, oh, yeah, this is a good deal for Malcolm Brogdon.
and in the end, you have guys on the court you want to watch play.
No doubt.
Right? Like, the only financial thing you hear about with the Celtics is Jaylen Brown's contract because he signed the biggest deal this offseason, and he has a certain portion of fan base that doesn't love him, thinks he's overpaid, he can't go left,
Right.
he dribbles off his foot. Like, there's some haters in that world. Other than that, you don't hear about money with the Celtics. You know why? Because you're talking about talent and wins and scoring 144 points and talk to me in the Eastern Conference Finals, not, can we compete for the playoffs or can we be a wild card team, right? Like, when you put talent on the court or the field, it's very simple. People pay attention to the talent. Otherwise, they got to pay attention to the dollars and the books and the this and the Patriots. Oh, I got a draft pick and who can we get? No. If you give them actually talent to follow, they'll be happy and they'll watch the sport and be excited.
It's funny that you mentioned the money part of it because we're just now getting to that point with the Celtics because of the rules in the NBA of the apron and making trades and stuff like that. So Brad Stevens has done a great job of putting together an unbelievable team. Now the real work begins for him in terms of how do I balance everything with ownership? And believe me, I don't think Wick is about to pull like a John Henry and be like, I've spent to my limit. Oh, no. That guy wants a title. Brad Stevens is good at his job. I don't think it'll be silly resources, but there'll be enough resources there for Brad Stevens to get done what he needs to get done. That's all I ask from an owner, by the way. I don't need an owner to spend $1 billion every year and be involved in every mid-level free agent that you're going to overpay. Like, don't overpay Jordan Montgomery. Don't overpay third wide receivers in Foxborough. Don't overpay third centers in hockey, stuff like that, right? But give the resources to where a good GM or good people can get the job done. That's all we ask, I think.
Do you think they run, and I'm sure they do, because he's a really smart guy, and I think he lives off of information in all his businesses. Like, information is the power, right? Predicting things, trends, being ahead of the curve. Who's that guy, Andrew, whatever, the economist?
Andrew Brandt.
No. The guy from, like, Smith College or something. Andrew.
I know what you're talking
He
about.
always is the guy quoted in any, like, economics of sports and, like, economic impact of this and economic impact of that. Have you seen this? Because I have not read this. What would the economic impact be of Yamamoto on the Boston Red Sox?
Is it Andrew Miller? No, he's the culture editor. It's Andrew Zimbalist or something
like
that.
Something like
there
that.
we go. Yeah,
Zimbalist,
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, starts with a Z.
But what is the economic impact? And let's just say he's not Pedro Martinez, but Yamamoto comes in and he's a good pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
He gives you 200 innings. He stays relatively healthy, so he makes all his starts, gives you 30 starts, maybe wins, let's just say 16 games.
Yeah, say like 16 and 8.
Okay.
Nice year.
Okay. And brings in marketing dollars and Japanese interest. And, like, what is the positive economic impact of that? As opposed to the downside. I sign him for $30 million a year, more than that if I include my posting fee. What's the down? Like, if he stinks, if he goes 2-11 because he can't transition to baseballs that don't have the tackification that he's used to or whatever. But do you think they have those numbers? Like, if we got John Henry on today and say, what do your numbers tell you would be the upside and the downside of signing Yamamoto? Would he have a number right off?
No. In fact, I think it would be more of a, well, it doesn't work that way kind of conversation.
What do you mean it doesn't work that way?
Well, here's the thing.
I'd yell at him just like that.
I know you would, but even if people aren't showing up, they're still getting 35,000 seats sold. Like, I don't think there has been enough attrition for John Henry to make an analysis like that. Whereas Chavez Ravine isn't that a 50 to 55,000 seat facility or something
it's pretty
like
big.
that?
I don't know the exact numbers.
So if you're banging out whatever it is, and Coop will probably tell us, but say it's 50,000 versus 37, whatever it is at Fenway, and the ballpark or the seats, the majority of the time, it's either full, sold out, pretty close, whatever. It feels like there's a big variance between 35,000 and 50,000 people that somebody like John Henry could quantify. Whereas if they could make the ballpark bigger, they probably would have done it by now, but they can't. So my kind of guess is that he would just be like, well, for us, there really isn't a massive benefit.
So he's a net loss.
56,000 in Dodger Stadium.
Right.
So you're talking about so that would be 20,000 fan difference by 80 games. I mean, that's a whole S pile
So basically
of money.
you're telling me the juice coming out of this orange is pretty much squeezed.
I hate to say it, but I think so. Again,
because you're already charging high prices, too. There's been a thing in the news this week out of Detroit where Lions fans are getting, like, 4 times increases on their tickets. Like, some guy, his seats have been like $1,500. They're going up to $5,000 next
Welcome
year.
to the playoffs.
And that's a season ticket cost. That's not a secondary market. That's what you're asking your first market to pay. You're not going to do that, right? You're not going to have twofold price increases at Fenway Park. You're already pretty high on the list there. So I don't mean to play his side of the street or play devil's advocate.
Right.
But if he could put this number, he's probably like, the difference with and without financially,
is
Not that big a deal.
And that's why I'm kind of landing on, or at least the antenna is
I
up
don't
on,
like this
is
thinking.
something going on here because let me reverse the question.
Okay.
How do the Red Sox get more out of the organization? What other ways are left? Looking at it from a John Henry perspective and Sam Kennedy.
International marketing through Yamamoto.
Okay. And what do you figure? Do you think that is franchise-changing stuff? Do you think there's 8 figures? Do you think there's 9 figures out there for that? Like, is there $100 million connected to a Japanese player?
Per year?
Yeah, that's the thing. No, probably
not. I mean, I'm just spitballing here.
But a part of the reason I think you're having it's the spitballing. There's nothing left. They've rehabbed Fenway. They've advertised the hell out of it. They built the music hall. Whatever they get from Nesson, that's different than any really, or not any other setup, but the team owns the network, so we don't really know how much dollars are truly exchanging hands. Maybe that's going down a little bit. Somebody mentioned in the text, Nesson is nothing without the Red Sox. Oh, no, sir. No. There's a thing called subscription rates where if you're on 15 million cable boxes and you're getting 40 cents for being on those box, you're starting with a pile of money right there to be able to run your network. And then remember, you still have Bruins games on there as well. Not to kind of, pull back the curtain a little bit, but if you have a program that's halfway decent and you give it to Nesson for free, they're likely to put it on. They'll make you a deal for something like that. There's not a lot of overhead costs, so you could split the baby. This is not good because there's I cannot think of one, unless John Henry wants to take some of the property around Fenway, knock something down, and build a parking garage, which is bad use of space for him relative to what's already down there. How does he get more money out of this team? I think it's max. That's why I'm wondering. Put the for sale sign up.
I'll tell you one way you don't maximize it, though, is to continue to finish in last place. There's
That's
a balance
a great
there.
point.
There's a balance there at some point,
That's
a
a
breaking
really good point.
right?
Because if
35,000 is one thing, but 15,000,
bingo,
12,000. If it's only tourists, and if you continue, we fixate on secondary market prices. Oh, $1 seats for rent.
So
it's
stupid.
the first market that matters. If you
Right.
stop selling season tickets, if suddenly you start April and you only have half your tickets sold, that's when you start to leave a mark.
You nailed it, friend. You're right. People go
work here's done.
People go gaga over the secondary market.
It's kinda
Means
dumb.
Nothing.
Dumb.
Absolutely nothing.
I don't know why it started to bother me so much. Patriots tickets are going for
Well-
$10 at 1 o'clock. Yeah, because they're trying to unload inventory because the game already started.
Yeah, and it's the person who already paid the real price that's
Right.
unloading it. They're just trying to get $10 if they
Right.
can. Yeah, not this is the real market. No, the real market was somebody already paid for that.
Right. In April, did you write a check for $5,000 for your season ticket?
I like this.
Because if you didn't, you're in trouble.
We're morphing into like Stadler and Waldorf on this stuff. These people.
Well, it sucks. I continue to
understand economics.
I hate talking about this. I hate that this is part of sports, that we have to acknowledge, he's cutting costs so he can sell the... No. You know what I want to do? I want to go back to the days where Manny Ramirez signed and they traded for Pedro and they traded for Schilling and they did this and they did that. I couldn't even tell you who they brought in this offseason. Some guy named O'Neill. They lost out on some guy named Lugo to the frickin' Royals.
I like the way Keith put it earlier. O'Neill had a good year 3 years ago.
Yeah, great. Great. Is that what we're doing?
Well said.
So we're a minor league team now? We're like come redevelop yourself in Boston, right? We're a flip your career, come to Boston? Is that what we're doing here?
Nope, not anymore.
I
Nope.
liked when we shopped at the top, not the bottom.
Oh, no, now we're in the middle. We're on the middle to low end.